The restaurant was almost too quiet for a Friday night, the kind of quiet that made every second feel heavier than the last. Mia tapped her fingers lightly on the table, her eyes fixed on the untouched glass of water in front of her. She had promised herself she wouldn't get her hopes up this time, not after 3 failed blind dates and enough awkward conversations to last her a lifetime. But a tiny part of her still hoped tonight would be different. She smoothed her dress, inhaled slowly, and glanced at the entrance once more. Empty. No one matching the description her friend had sent. Just when she reached for her purse, ready to walk away from yet another disappointment, the door swung open and 2 little girls, identical twins, ran inside, breathless and bright-eyed. They hurried straight toward her table. One tugged her sleeve and said, with a sincerity that disarmed her completely, "Our daddy is really, really sorry he's late." And Mia froze, because everything in her life was about to change, yet she didn't know it, not yet. The twins introduced themselves before she could respond. "I'm Lily." "And I'm Liana." Their matching ponytails bounced as they spoke, their cheeks rosy from the cold outside. Mia blinked in confusion. "You're Daddy?" she asked gently. The girls nodded enthusiastically. "Yes. You're Miss Mia, right? Daddy showed us your picture. He said you might leave because he's stuck outside trying to fix something." Their voices overlapped, a sweet, chaotic harmony that made Mia's heart melt despite her confusion. She looked toward the entrance again, still no man in sight, and she wondered if she was living some kind of strange prank. But then one of the twins pulled out a slightly wrinkled note. "Daddy said to give you this if he was more than 5 minutes late." Mia unfolded it. "I'm truly sorry. I'll explain everything when I get there. Please don't leave." The handwriting was rushed but sincere. And despite herself, despite the voice in her head telling her to be cautious, Mia sighed and sat back down. Something about this was different. Something about these girls felt like a sign she hadn't expected. The girls climbed into the seat across from her as if they had known her forever. "Daddy says you like kids," Lily said, swinging her feet. "Do you?" Mia smiled softly. "I do. Very much." Liana leaned in, whispering like sharing a secret. "Good. Daddy needs someone who smiles. He's been sad lately." The words caught Mia off guard. Sad? Why? Who was this man she had been set up with? Before she could ask more, the door opened again, this time slowly. A man in a dark jacket hurried in, pushing back wind-tousled hair, eyes scanning the room with urgency. When he spotted the twins, relief washed over his face. And when his eyes finally landed on Mia, something softened, something tired but hopeful. He approached the table, gently placing a hand on each girl's shoulder. "I'm so sorry," he said, breathless. "I'm Daniel. And I swear I'm not usually this chaotic." Mia didn't know it yet, but this moment, this messy, imperfect moment, was the beginning of the story she would one day tell with tears in her eyes. Daniel sat down, still catching his breath. "My babysitter canceled last minute, and then my car wouldn't start. I was ready to cancel, but the girls insisted I try. They said I deserve a friend." His eyes flicked toward his daughters with a mix of pride and sadness. Mia softened. She could see the exhaustion beneath his smile, the heart behind it. "I'm glad you tried," she said quietly. Daniel laughed nervously. "I wanted tonight to go smoothly." "You deserve that. But I guess I don't know how to do smooth anymore." Mia shook her head. "It's okay. I didn't come here for perfect." The twins giggled. "Daddy's never perfect," Lily declared. "He burns pancakes. And forgets it's picture day," Liana added. Daniel groaned. "Traitors." The table filled with laughter, light, warm, unexpectedly healing. Mia felt the tension she had been carrying all week dissolve like mist. Maybe this wasn't the date she expected, but maybe it was exactly the one she needed. As the evening unfolded, the girls told stories, Daniel shared shy but genuine smiles, and Mia found herself drawn into their little world. She learned that Daniel was a widowed father, doing his best to raise the twins while juggling work and heartbreak. She learned that the girls adored their father fiercely and wanted him to be happy even if they didn't fully understand what that meant. She learned that Daniel hadn't gone on a date in years, partly scared, partly unsure he deserved a second chance at life. Mia listened quietly, feeling something fragile and powerful tug at her heart. Hope. A kind she hadn't felt in a long time. And Daniel, watching the way she listened to his daughters, watching the way she smiled at their rambling stories, felt something shift inside him too, something he thought he had buried with his grief. The night grew deeper, the restaurant quieter, but their table felt bright, like a small patch of warmth in a cold world. When the girls began to yawn, Daniel apologized again. I really wanted to give you a proper evening, he said, rubbing his forehead. Mia looked at him, truly looked at the tiredness, the sincerity, the vulnerability he wasn't trying to hide. You did, she whispered. This was real. Daniel blinked, clearly not expecting her answer. You're not disappointed? Mia laughed softly. If anything, I'm surprised. In a good way. The twins leaned on their father's shoulders, barely awake. Miss Mia, Lily murmured, can we see you again? Mia's heart squeezed. She glanced at Daniel, who looked caught between hope and hesitation. Only if you want to, he said quietly. The air thinned. Mia nodded. I'd like that. A small smile tugged at Daniel's lips, gentle, grateful, almost disbelieving. And in that moment, Mia realized something. Sometimes life didn't give you the perfect entrance, it gave you the perfect people. As they stood to leave, Daniel hesitated. Thank you for not walking away, he said. Most people would have. Mia smiled. Maybe I'm not most people. Daniel exhaled slowly, almost like he'd been waiting for a reason to breathe again. I hope we can try this again. Properly. Mia reached for her coat, her eyes soft. We will. And don't worry, I like pancakes. Even burnt ones. Daniel laughed for the first time that night, a genuine sound that made his daughters stir and smile in their sleep. Outside, the wind had settled. Snowflakes drifted softly through the streetlights. As they walked out together, Daniel carrying one twin, Mia holding the hand of the other, it felt almost like the beginning of something warm in the middle of winter. When they reached the sidewalk, Daniel paused. I don't know what tonight will mean tomorrow, he admitted. But I haven't felt this hopeful in a long time. Mia squeezed the small hand in hers. Maybe tonight doesn't need to mean everything, she said gently. Maybe it just needs to mean something. Daniel nodded, and for once, he didn't try to hide how much her words mattered. And the twins, half asleep but still smiling, whispered, Good night, Miss Mia. Daddy smiles more now. And for Mia, that was enough. For Daniel, it was more than enough. And for the twins, it was everything. Sometimes love didn't walk in on time. Sometimes it arrived breathless, late, tangled in wrong moments, but carrying the right hearts. And sometimes the best beginnings were the ones no one planned, the ones led by two little girls who simply wanted their father to stop being lonely. That night, Mia walked home with a full heart, unaware that Daniel would message her the moment he reached home. Unaware that the twins would draw pictures of her the next morning. Unaware that this chaotic, unexpected evening wasn't the end of her search, it was the beginning of a story none of them would ever forget.